Okay, so in order to determine what we can afford to offer on the property, we have to figure out the repair cost because the repair cost goes into our offer formula. So, how to do that? This it's gonna take some practice. You're just gonna have to kind of work at it a little bit. This took me a while to figure out, so I don't expect you to get this overnight. This is fine. Um, so what I will do when I'm going to do an estimate on the property is look at this property condition stuff. And I see in here that the roof is new. Mostly everything's been updated. He's not saying that there's any, plumbing or electrical repairs needed. The windows are new. There's fridge, you know. So this property, he's saying, doesn't really need much. But we never, never, never have a $0 repair estimate. At the very least, the properties are going to need flooring and paint. Most of the time, when somebody comes in and buys something, that's what they're going to do at the very least, flooring and paint. So, what I will do for this property, since it doesn't need much else, is the bare minimum of what somebody coming in to buy the property would do. So let's calculate how much it's going to cost to do the flooring and the paint in this house. So I see over here that the square footage was estimated at 1,000. Um, I just kind of can guess that since it's 3 units, 1,000 isn't what the square footage is actually of the total property. We need the total square footage. 1,000 is more like a single family house. So to get an accurate square footage, it's fine that it's not on the phone. Most people won't really know that off the top of their head. That's fine. There's ways to find it. Here it is. So we'll go to the PBA website and put in the address. Okay, so here is the property. What we want to look for in here is the details in the photos. So drop down that box, and in here is some very valuable information. So we see the stories, we see the square footage, some basic information. But here is a good number on the amount of square feet in the property. So I went ahead and came in here and changed it to that because you need an accurate square footage if you're going to estimate the repairs on the property. So go with that. And the stories is also going to be important as well. But we'll get to that here in a second. So come back over here. This is gonna be your best bet for accurate repair estimates. It's remodelingcalculator.org. So come in here and select your project type. Well, let me show you. First of all, whenever you come on the website, it's going to ask you something about contractors. Just get out of that. You don't have to put the zip code in. It's going to pull up a box that wants you to type that in. You don't have to. So come over here, and we're not going to say it needs bathrooms. We're going to go for the flooring. I always go just middle of the road. In here, hardwood is going to be the most expensive. Laminate is going to be the middle of the road. Carpet is the cheapest. So always just go middle of the road. And then put your square footage in. The project size, flooring is going to cover all square feet of the house. So put your square footage in there. And then just go mid-range. Like I said, just go middle of the road. We're not doing new construction. We're not building something. So we're remodeling the existing. And some demo work is to be expected, so just put partial demo. it helps us with our numbers. So I also will just leave it on national average because technically Louisville is Midwest and that's not an option in here. So I'll leave it on national average and then estimate cost. So pick the mid-range one. Go with that one. Like I said, always just go middle of the road. And I'm just going to round it up, 17,000 for flooring in this entire building. Okay, so you got the flooring estimate. Let's move on to the paint, the two basics on every property. So painting. In here, it's going to give you two options. For this property, come look at the pictures and you'll see that there is some exterior paint on the property, but most of it is going to be interior. So unless the whole property is painted, I won't mess with the exterior painting. Just, go with the interior painting. And then surface repair, put medium, middle of the road. We're not sure what it looks like in there, so just, average in that some surface repairs are going to be needed. And then mid-range, that's already middle of the road. We're, again, remodeling the existing stuff. We'll stick with some partial demo in case some walls need to be changed out or something. We don't know. So just stick with these are the basics. Go middle of the road. If you're not sure, just go middle of the road. And then estimate cost. So for painting on this property, it's going to be about $8,400. So starting off, this is your repair amount. Now, if you want to kind of cross-reference your numbers, there is another tool we can use. It's called FreedomSoft Free Estimator. So just freedomsoft.com/free-estimator. I'll put links up. And this is another tool we can use to, give us another number, check our numbers, whatever. So let's put the address in here. We'll go through this one as well. Louisville and Kentucky. It doesn't require that you put the zip code in, so don't bother with it. That just complicates things. That's fine. So the existing property is tri-level. Now, how did I figure that out? Again, it's over here on the PVA website. The stories. It's 3 stories. So we know it's a tri-level building. It looks like it could just be 2, but I'm guessing they're counting a basement in there. So just go with this data right here. 3 stories. Okay, total square footage. Now, for the bedrooms and the bathrooms. So over here, the seller said that it's a 3-unit building with 2 bedrooms each. So 6 bedrooms total. And generally, it's probably only going to have 1 bathroom per unit whenever it's 2 bedrooms. I'm just going to guess and say that that's the case. That's a good guess. No garage. He's saying the roof is new. Our end buyer is going to verify that. When I go out there, I'll look to see if there's any evidence of it leaking, but let's just go based on what Kenneth told us on the phone. No work needed on the roof. Contingency, I always go at least 10%. And then the current condition, I only select total beater if the property has been vacant for a while, if there's known vandalism in there. For example, it's been vacant and somebody got in there and vandalized it, or they had an angry tenant that when they moved out, they vandalized it, or somebody went into foreclosure and they moved out and vandalized the property before the bank took it or threatened to take it, whatever. Only put total B-Dirt if it's been vacant for a while and there's probably going to be some kind of vandalism or there is known vandalism. But based on how Kenneth described the property, it sounds like it's livable but just needs work. And I'll put livable clean whenever I can see pictures of the property and know it's pretty much move-in ready. It just maybe needs a little bit of paint, a little bit of flooring. So we're going to go with livable needs work on this property. That's something you'll get better at gauging as you go along. If this isn't making a whole lot of sense right now, it's fine. You're learning as you go. It's fine. It took me a while to figure all this out. So you're not going to get it overnight. So let's go over here, property after repairs. The finished square foot is going to be the same. We're not adding any square footage on generally, so just stick with what we already have. So just go in here and fill out your information. No garage. Again, middle of the road, average, just pick that. And Louisville, Kentucky. So create estimate. Now it's going to ask you for your email address, and you can just put that or that work email you made, whatever you want to do, and click email my estimate. I think the first time or two it's going to ask you if you're a robot and prove not. So just do that, and then it emails it to you. So come over here to my email and click the link for the results. Okay, so rental grade, it's saying is.
Hey there, Rob Swanson here with FreedomSoft.
It pops that up. That's annoying. But anyways, rental grade, it's saying is $25,000. If you see here, our repair estimate that we did when we estimated what exactly it's going to need was about $25,000. So your numbers are about where they need to be as far as the repair estimate goes. This is as good as we're going to be able to get it until we go out there and see the property. So, once I go out there and see the property, I may get out there and be like, oh, it's way more fixed up than I thought it would be. So maybe we can come down on the repair amount. But this is just the basics. It's $25,000 for paint and flooring on this house. I mean, that's the best way of going about it. So this number will tend to include a little bit for miscellaneous stuff, like maybe a little bit of plumbing repairs, a little bit of electric work, but I usually just use this website to kind of check my work from over here, where we go in each individual thing. So like I said, this is a good check. And we're going with rental grade because, like we determined in the value estimate, this is probably going to be sold to a landlord who's going to rent it out. They're not going to go in there and fix it up and flip it. So this isn't the number we would look at. We're looking at the rental grade because this is probably going to be a rental property. So that's it. That's how the repair estimate is done. If you want, you can take the two of these and average them. I'm probably just going to stick with the higher number and go with that one, just to be a little bit safer on my numbers. But you can average them however you want to do it, really, because these are pretty close. And like I said, we'll learn as we go, figure it out. But for now, I'm going to go with this number right here to stick on this property. So this is the first step in determining our offer amount. From here, it's pretty easy, actually, but I'm going to explain offer amounts in another video. This is just how we're going to determine the repair estimate on the property, which will then factor into our offer amount. So I hope this made sense. Again, let me know if you have any questions. I'll be here. So hit me up.